Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the PELE YOETZ and Ahavas Reim, how to love your fellow Jew the way you love yourself. Umiklal Omar Ha'omash Yishma Chacham, and in general we say Yishma Chacham Sheyesh Lismayach Simcha Gedola. A wise person, take heed and listen to what we're saying, and you should rejoice a tremendous amount of simcha. When you see other Yidden, you see other Jews that are doing the will of Hashem, it should make you happy. It should make you rejoice. We just had in the Yomi the other day that Yehoshaphat the Melech, when he would see Talmidei Chachamim walk into the room, he got so excited to see people that were learning and serving the Rebbeinu Shalom. Even though that a king doesn't normally get off of his throne of glory for other people, he doesn't rise to the occasion. Everybody rises and stands in front of him. But when he would see Talmidei Chachamim, those people that are serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they're doing the Ratzon Hashem, it made him so happy. He had such a reverence and a respect for them. He would get out of his chair and he would go over, v'chibuk v'nishuk, he would hug them and he would kiss them. That's how happy he was. Says the PELE YOETZ, when you see another Jew who is succeeding in their avodas Hashem, you see them come to davening on time, you see them controlling their mouth from speaking lashon hara, you see them working through their emunah and their faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and making it something that's real and solidified in them. You see them in their learning, you see them in their midas, whatever area and aspect of their Yiddishkeit you might see, you see success and achievement and growth. You should be happy for them. And so too on the opposite. If you see people that are doing averas, that are doing the wrong things, you see people that are stumbling into sin and they're making mistakes, you need to be tsar benefesh. You have to have pain. It has to pain you and hurt you when you see another yid that's falling short and stumbling into the pits of avera, of sin, and doing the wrong thing. There's a beautiful story with the altar of Kelm. The altar of Kelm was once walking through a marketplace with one of his chaverim, one of his friends, who we have to assume was probably another great rabbi of that time. And as they were walking through the marketplace, so there was a Jewish caravan or so, a wagon filled with straw, and another Jew with an empty wagon pulled up beside, and he looked around to make sure that no one was paying attention and looking, and he stole straw and hay from the wagon that was filled, threw it into the back of his wagon, and then he sped off and drove away into the sunset. The altar of Kelm happened to be walking by right as this was taking place, and he watched one Jew steal from another Jew. And the moment that he saw that his whole countenance changed, the altar of Kelm was known to be a big Baal Simcha, a very happy person all the time. He was always at ease, he was always besimcha, his emunah and bitachon was coursing through every ounce of his veins. When he saw this, he got very despondent, very serious, very quiet. And they began walking through the marketplace, and his friend, who knew the altar of Kelm to be someone that was always in a jovial, peaceful mood, he saw that the altar was very serious at this moment. What was wrong? And as they heading towards the end of the marketplace, he turns to the altar and he says, Rebbe, tell me, is something the matter? What happened? Why are you so serious? Why are you so sad? This is not your regular modality. This is not the way that you normally that you act in life. And so the altar of Kelm looked at him, he says, you see another Yid steal from another Jew? He said, how could you not be bitzar? How could you not be in pain to see such a thing? I mean, the altar of Kelm understood that if there are Jews that are falling short and they are stumbling into sin, it's a terrible, terrible thing, and you have to feel the pain. Even if you yourself are not the greatest Oved Hashem in the world, you yourself are mekatzer, you are weaker in your service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you are not putting forth your best effort and you're not really living up to the standards that you could. Nevertheless, lo yis'aveh shegam chaver yikamo. Do not desire that your friend should be like you. L'man ti'ei tzaras rabim nechamas shoitim. Because when the other people are doing the wrong thing, that's like a consolation to the shoitim, to the fools. Meaning, misery loves company. So if you're mekatze, if you're short and falling short in where you're supposed to be in your avodas Hashem, if your learning doesn't look like it should, and your davening is not what it should be, and your midos are not where they should be holding, and your yirah shamayim is weak, and your amunah is struggling, and it makes you feel bad about yourself. So what happens, what's the nature of a person when they see somebody else stumbling, they see somebody else not towing the line, they see somebody else who is weak in these areas? It makes me feel better about myself. I'm not the only one who's struggling. I'm not the only one who's not doing well. Says the PELE, no, you should not have a misery loves company mentality. You should not feel better when you see somebody else in the same struggles. You know how you feel. You should feel bad for them as well. Just as you are in tsar because you are going down, or you are not trying as hard as you could, or you're not getting the same inspiration that you know that is possible from the world of Torah mitzvahs, and you see somebody else going through the same thing, you should feel bad for them. Just as you should feel bad for yourself, and you should want to grow and change yourself, feel bad and hope and pray that this other person will be able to grow and change for themselves as well. Have a wonderful day.